Emmett Ashford was a man of great culture. Emmett was somebody who, when he was on the road, would seek out the local opera company, would go to plays. He was well-read. Later, of course, he got into the film and television industry.
You're one of the best umpires in baseball. I'd say you don't miss more than 5 out of 6.
So this was a guy who had a wide range of cultural interests. And I think he, to some extent, brought that into play in terms of his performance on the field. His style was very theatrical. Makes sense. He used to go to the theater. This was somebody who was a pioneer. Emmett Ashford was unique. He was in a position of authority on that field.
He was a serious, educated, tried and true professional and an entertainer, all in one package.
For the benefit of the people who don't know, Emmett's one of the most respected and capable umpires in the Pacific Coast League.
First met Emmett Ashford when I was at Jefferson High School, and he was the only African-American umpire in the Pacific Coast League in baseball, and he became the umpire-in-chief.
Emmett, I understand you may go up to the majors next year. Is there any truth to this rumor?
Well, gosh, Groucho, there have been rumors, but quite a lot of smoke, but I haven't heard anything definite, and of course it's my ambition like everybody else.
He became one of the most popular umpires in the nation.
I predict you're going to be in the big leagues inside of another year, and you'll be a sensation up there, too.
Thank you, Groucho.
And for years, candidates that he supervised were selected for the major leagues, and Major League Baseball just passed him by. So we started this campaign, and one day we made an appointment to see the late Walter F. O'Malley. And after we met with O'Malley, about 2 weeks later, Emmett Ashford was promoted to the major leagues.
Jackie Robinson integrates Major League Baseball in 1947, and it takes 20 years till 1966 before Emmett Ashford is able to be an umpire in Major League Baseball. 20 years.
To the black community, it was great because this is something that had never been. And no one could question his integrity because he had that background going back to the Pacific Coast League.
This was 1966. This was just a few years after the March on Washington, a couple of years after the signing of the Civil Rights Act. I mean, this was really something pretty impressive to see.
Let me tell you about the first time that I remember being around Emmett Ashford, because I had just been called up in 1966, and we're playing in Kansas City. And Emmett was the second base umpire that night, and we had seen a lot about Emmett. But Emmett was dapper, first of all. He had cufflinks. I mean, he was styling, and he would show the white sleeve underneath his jacket. I mean, he was right out of GQ. To me, he was great for baseball because he drew the attention of the game.
And if he called you out, that hand is extended and the thumb up, and he was very emphatic with how he called it.
Emmett Ashford was kind of the flamboyant type umpire when I was in Cleveland. And when you consider that, like Jackie Robinson, Emmett Ashford was the first black umpire. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, so in a sense, Emmett Ashford did the same thing with regard to the umpires. And I'm sure he had to go through the same things that Jackie Robinson did at a different era. You know, umpiring is a tough job, so I give what Emmett Ashford did in coming up through the ranks, and probably could have gotten to the big leagues much earlier had it not been for trying to break the color barrier.
By the time he was called up to umpire in '66, he was getting on in years, and of course he put on a glorious show. He was fabulous, but it almost made me wonder what was he like 15 or 20 years earlier.
If it hadn't been for Walter O'Malley, Emmett Ashford would have never made it to the major leagues.